You know exactly when it's going to happen. You're lying in bed next to her. The moment is right. Everything is there. The desire, the attraction, the intention. But your body doesn't respond. And that silence between what you want to happen and what actually happens, that gap, is the loneliest place a man can be. If that's where you are right now, I need you to pay close attention to what I'm about to say, because after 3 years of dealing with this and over a year of obsessive research, I can tell you with absolute certainty that you've been looking at this problem from the wrong angle. Your doctor has been looking at it from the wrong angle. And every product you've tried has been treating the symptom while ignoring what's actually causing it. I'm going to explain why your ED isn't a blood flow problem. I'm going to show you what's really driving it. And I'm going to give you 2 options to fix it: a free path you can start tonight using food and lifestyle changes, and a faster path that handles everything in one step. Both work. You decide which one fits your life. Let's start with what everyone gets wrong. When a man walks into his doctor's office and describes ED, the first thing that happens is a conversation about blood flow. The doctor says your blood vessels aren't dilating properly, writes a prescription for the blue pill, and sends you home. The blue pill forces your blood vessels open. It works for a while, then it stops. Or the side effects become unbearable. Or you start needing a higher dose. And at some point, you're back in that same silence, lying next to her, wondering what happened. Here's what happened. The blue pill was never fixing the problem. It was forcing a response in a body that doesn't have the hormonal foundation to sustain it. That's like putting premium fuel in a car with a broken engine. The fuel isn't the issue. The engine is. The engine in a man's body is testosterone. And yours has been quietly shutting down for years. Published data from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology shows that testosterone in men has been declining roughly 1% every year since 1980. But that's the population average. For individual men dealing with chronic stress, poor sleep, excess weight around the midsection, and the chemical load of modern food and plastics, the decline is often much steeper. By 50, many men are operating at a fraction of what they had at 30. And here's the part that connects directly to what's happening in your bedroom. Testosterone is the master signal that controls your sexual response from start to finish. It drives the desire in your brain. It triggers the release of nitric oxide, which is what tells your blood vessels to relax and open. It maintains the sensitivity in nerve endings that makes the physical response possible. And it sustains the production of cGMP, the molecule that keeps you firm once blood flow arrives. When testosterone is low, every single link in that chain weakens. Your desire drops, your nitric oxide production drops, your sensitivity drops, your cGMP levels drop. And no amount of forced blood flow from a pill can compensate for a chain that's broken at every link. This is why the blue pill works at first and fails over time. In the beginning, your testosterone is low, but still present enough to support a partial chain. The pill forces the last link, blood flow, and it's enough to get a result. But as testosterone continues to decline year after year, even forced blood flow can't overcome a chain that's now broken in 4 places instead of 1. Once I understood this, everything made sense. My ED wasn't a circulation problem. It was a testosterone problem expressing itself as a circulation problem. And the only real solution was to rebuild the hormonal foundation that everything else depends on. Now I want to be upfront with you. After months of research, I found a specific combination of 7 herbs that target testosterone production, testosterone availability, and blood flow simultaneously. It's a single capsule I take every morning, and I've been doing it for 14 months. This is the thing that turned everything around for me. The link is in the description below this video. I'm mentioning it now because I know some of you have been dealing with this long enough that you don't need another hour of science. You need a solution. It's there whenever you're ready. For everyone else, stay with me because understanding this changes how you approach your body for the rest of your life. And even if you end up choosing the capsule, what I'm about to share will make it work significantly better. Here's the free path. The full protocol to naturally support the hormonal chain that controls your sexual performance. The first layer is food. Specific foods contain compounds that directly support testosterone production. Eggs, especially the yolks, contain cholesterol, which is literally the building block your body uses to manufacture testosterone. Your body cannot make testosterone without cholesterol. 3 to 4 whole eggs per day is the starting point. Oysters are the richest natural source of zinc, which is essential for testosterone synthesis. You'd need about 6 to 8 oysters 3 times a week to maintain optimal zinc levels. Most men aren't eating oysters 3 times a week. Brazil nuts contain selenium, another mineral critical to testosterone production. 2 to 3 per day is enough, but you have to be careful not to exceed that because selenium is toxic in high amounts. Red meat and organ meats contain saturated fat, zinc, and B vitamins that all support hormone production. Pomegranate juice has been shown in studies to increase salivary testosterone by up to 24% over 2 weeks. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage contain compounds that help your body metabolize excess estrogen, which competes with testosterone. That's the food layer alone, and you need to manage all of those consistently every single day for months. Most men can do it for a week, maybe 2. Then life takes over. The second layer is specific herbs. This is where it gets complicated. Tonkat Ali is the most studied herb for natural testosterone support, but it doesn't exist in any common food. You'd need to find the raw root, source it from Southeast Asia, and prepare it correctly. Most retail Tonkat Ali products are underdosed or use the wrong part of the plant. To get a clinical dose, you need around 200 to 400 milligrams of standardized extract daily. Then there's horny goat weed, which contains icariin, a natural compound that works like a gentler version of the blue pill by blocking the enzyme that destroys your erection response. But the icariin content varies wildly between products, and most supplements contain nowhere near enough to be effective. You'd also need boron, a trace mineral that research shows can increase free testosterone by up to 28% in 1 week. But it's found in food only in tiny amounts. You'd need to eat handfuls of raisins and almonds daily to approach a clinical dose. And nettle leaf, which blocks a protein called SHBG that binds to your testosterone and makes it unavailable, essentially invisible to your body even though it's technically there. Now imagine sourcing all of those separately, checking the quality of each one, measuring doses, timing them correctly with food for absorption, doing that every single day without fail for 90 days. That's the free path. It works. The science behind every single one of these compounds is solid, but the execution is where most men fail, not because they're lazy, but because the logistics are genuinely overwhelming. This is exactly why the capsule exists and why I started taking it. 7 herbs, 1 capsule, every morning with water. Tonkat Ali at a full clinical dose for testosterone production. Horny goat weed with enough icariin to support blood flow and block the enzyme that kills your erection. Boron and nettle leaf working together to free up the testosterone your body is already making but can't use. Saw palmetto protecting your prostate from unwanted hormone conversion. Wild yam and sarsaparilla supporting the energy foundation that sustains everything else. Each ingredient handles a different piece of the chain I described earlier. Testosterone production goes up. Testosterone availability goes up. The erection response gets direct support through blood flow, and the enzyme that destroys your performance gets blocked naturally without the side effects that come with pharmaceutical options. 1 capsule addresses all 4 simultaneously, which is something no single herb and no single food can do. The third layer, and this applies whether you take the capsule or do the full food protocol, is lifestyle. Sleep 7 to 8 hours in a completely dark room. Every hour of sleep below 7 measurably lowers your testosterone the following day. Lift heavy things at least 3 times a week. Compound movements like squats, deadlifts, and bench press trigger the largest testosterone response. Cut back on alcohol significantly, especially beer, which contains plant estrogens that directly compete with testosterone. Manage stress because cortisol, the stress hormone, is manufactured from the same raw material as testosterone. When your body is chronically stressed, it chooses cortisol over testosterone every time. Survival always wins over reproduction in your body's priority list. And reduce your exposure to plastics, especially heating food in plastic containers, drinking from plastic bottles left in the sun, and using products with artificial fragrances. These contain endocrine disruptors that mimic estrogen in your body. Here's what my timeline looked like once I started combining the capsule with these lifestyle fundamentals. Week 1, I slept deeper than I had in years. Woke up feeling like my body actually recovered overnight, subtle but noticeable. Week 2, my energy stopped crashing in the afternoon, and the mental fog that had been following me for years started clearing. My wife noticed I was more present during conversations. Week 3, the morning signs came back. Every man over 40 knows what I mean. Physical indicators that your body is functioning properly that had been absent for over a year. By week 4, my confidence in the bedroom had completely shifted. Not because I was forcing anything, but because I could feel my body was ready. The desire was there. The response was there. The performance was there. No pill, no anxiety, no hoping. Just my body doing what it's built to do, because the hormonal foundation was finally back in place. At month 3, my doctor confirmed what I already knew. My numbers had improved across the board. He asked what I've been doing. I told him. He took notes. Now let me address some things I know you're thinking because I thought them too. If you've tried testosterone boosters before and they did nothing, that's because most products on the market use 1 or 2 ingredients at weak doses and charge premium prices for something that was never going to work. A single herb at a fraction of the clinical dose is like trying to start a fire with 1 damp match. The reason this combination works is because 7 compounds are attacking the problem from 7 different angles simultaneously. Production, availability, blood flow, enzyme blocking, hormone protection, energy support. Remove any one of those and the chain has a gap. Keep all 7 and the chain holds. If you're over 60 and thinking this won't work for you, you're wrong. Your body's testosterone factory doesn't close, it slows down. The raw materials and signals I'm talking about work at 45 and they work at 70. The timeline might be slightly longer for someone who's been in decline for more years, maybe 5 or 6 weeks instead of 3 to see the bedroom results, but the mechanism is the same. Your biology doesn't expire, it waits. If you're on blood pressure medication or blood thinners, talk to your doctor before starting. Horny goat weed affects blood flow and can interact with certain prescriptions. If you're already on TRT, this works through a completely different pathway. There's no conflict, but your doctor should know. And if you're the type who starts strong and quits after 2 weeks because you didn't see overnight results, hear this. The blue pill works in 30 minutes because it's forcing a temporary chemical reaction. What I'm describing is your body rebuilding a hormonal system that took years to break down. That doesn't happen overnight, and anyone who tells you it does is lying. The men who get results are the men who stay consistent for 90 days. Every single one of them says the same thing afterward. They say, I wish I'd started sooner. I'm 14 months in now, and this isn't something I think about anymore. It's just how my body works again. 1 capsule in the morning with my coffee. The same way I take my vitamins, except this one gave me my marriage back, my confidence back, and my identity as a man back. If you've been dealing with ED and nothing has worked or things worked for a while and stopped, consider the possibility that you've been treating the wrong problem. The blood flow issue is real, but it's the last domino. The first domino is the hormonal decline that's been happening silently for years. Fix the first domino, and the rest fall into place on their own. The link to exactly what I take is in the description. Read the ingredients, read the research, look at how each one targets a different piece of the chain. And decide for yourself. That's what a man does. He gathers the evidence and makes a call. Subscribe if you want more of this. Every week, I go deeper into one of these compounds and how it specifically affects your performance as you age. Hit like so this reaches the next guy who's lying in that silence right now thinking he's out of options. He's not, and neither were you. See you in the next one.